Hey everyone, Noctaris here. Today I'm going to show you how to create the car space edit. It's going to be fun and super cool. First, open your favorite browser and go to blender.org. Once you're there, click the Download button. It'll take you to the download page. Now click Download Blender, and the installer, usually a .msi file, should start downloading. After it's finished, just follow the installation steps to get Blender set up on your computer. Once Blender is installed, open a new browser tab and search for BlenderKit. Click the first link that appears. It should take you to the official BlenderKit website. There, click on Download BlenderKit, and it'll guide you through installing the plugin. BlenderKit will help us later with models and assets, so make sure it's set up properly. Next, we need a 3D car model. I personally use a site called Sketchfab. Just search for it and open the website. Today, someone suggested I edit a BMW M4 competition, so that's the one I'll use for this tutorial. Once you find the car model you want, click on it and scroll down to the Download 3D Model section. A pop-up will appear. I recommend downloading the model as either an FBX or GLTF file. Both work well with Blender. After downloading the file, locate it on your computer and extract the zip folder. Then open the extracted folder and look for a subfolder called Source or something similar. If you see another zip file inside, extract that too. If not, you're good to go. Just leave the files as they are for now. Alright, now that Blender is installed, let's open it up. When you launch Blender, you'll see a startup window. Click General to create a new project. Next, let's install the BlenderKit plugin. I've already done this, so I won't show the full install again, but if you followed the previous steps, it should already be active. You'll notice a new panel at the top with BlenderKit tools. In the bottom left corner, you'll also see my keyboard and mouse display. That's going to help you follow along exactly with what I'm doing. Now let's clean up the scene. Click and select the light and the default cube, then press Delete to remove them. Once that's done, save your project. That way, if Blender crashes, you won't lose anything. With BlenderKit installed, you'll see a globe icon at the top. That's for HDRIs, lighting environments. Click it, and in the search bar type Space. You'll see a list of space-themed HDRIs. Pick one that's not locked and download the highest resolution available. Once it's downloaded, press and hold Z, then drag your mouse up to select Rendered View. Now your workspace should look like outer space. If the grid is bothering you, you can turn it off. I'll keep mine on for now. Now let's bring in a planet model. I also downloaded this from Sketchfab earlier. At the top left, go to File, Import, and choose the correct file format, FBX, GLTF, etc. Find your downloaded planet model, double-click it, and it should appear in your scene. If your planet looks weird or cut off, don't worry, we'll fix that next. If your planet seems to disappear when zoomed out, press N to open the sidebar, then go to the View tab. Change the N value to something much higher. I recommend at least 1 million. This increases how far Blender's camera can see. Now everything should be visible. Select everything in the scene except the camera. If it's too big or small, press S to scale it up or down until it looks just right. Once that's set, go to the top right panel where all your objects are listed. Find the camera, right-click it in the workspace, and choose Set Active Camera. Now you're in camera view. Press Shift plus backtick to enter fly mode. It's just like a video game. Use W to move forward A to move left D to move right S to move backward. Once you find the perfect angle, left-click to lock in the camera position. If your model looks purple in rendered view, it means the textures are missing. Let's fix that. Hover your mouse over the left side of the screen until you see a plus icon. Click and drag it to the middle to split the screen into two workspaces. In the new panel, click the editor type icon, it looks like a little grid, and choose Shader Editor. Make sure the drop-down says Object, not World. Now you'll see the shader nodes for the model. Find the orange node that represents the texture. Click the folder icon on it. Navigate to the folder you extracted earlier and open the Textures folder. Don't click on anything specific, just click Open Image, and Blender should automatically detect the right one. If it doesn't, you may have selected the wrong texture folder. Go back and double-check. Repeat this for any other orange texture nodes you see. I'm going to fast-forward this part of the tutorial, but feel free to slow it down using YouTube's playback speed if you need to catch every step. Now let's close the shader editor. Move your cursor to the left side where the editor split is, and drag it upward so that the viewport and shader editor join back into one. Switch over to rendered view, and if your scene looks a bit too dark, you can fix that by selecting the sun in your scene. Go to the Light Properties tab. It's the icon that looks like a light bulb, and increase the sun's strength until the lighting looks just right. You can also adjust the sun's rotation to get better shadows or highlights. Just press R followed by X or Y to rotate the sun in that direction. Once you've found the perfect angle and lighting, your scene should look much more dynamic and ready for the next step. Now here's the exciting part. We're going to add the car model we downloaded from Sketchfab. To do that, head up to the top left corner and click on File, then go to Import and select FBX. As you can see, my car model is way too small, so I'm going to scale it up by pressing S and moving the mouse until it looks right. If you want to reposition it, you can use the G key to grab and move it, followed by X, Y, or Z to move it along those axes. Once you've placed the car where you want it, it's time to change the camera resolution. Right now, the default aspect ratio is 16:9, which is great for YouTube, but we need to switch it to 9:16 to fit TikTok or other vertical social media platforms. While you're there, you can also adjust the frame rate. It's totally up to you whether you want 24 or 60 frames per second. Now scroll down to the output settings. This is where you can customize your export options, like the file format, color mode, and color depth. Make sure to change the color option from RGBA to just RGB, since we don't need transparency. Next, let's set up the output directory. Click the folder icon, choose where you want your renders to be saved, and create a new folder for the files. Name it whatever you want, because we'll use it later. Now let's add some background music. Go to the top of the screen and scroll until you see the plus icon. Click it and select the Video Editing workspace. You'll now be in Blender's built-in video editor. Open your File Explorer, find your MP3, and just drag it directly into Blender. It should appear as a green strip in the timeline, which represents your audio track. Make sure to go to the very first frame and drag the music so it starts exactly at frame 1. That way we don't miss any part of the intro. Now we're going to add markers to line up the edits with the beat of the music, but there's a small issue. Our timeline doesn't match the length of the music. Go to the end of the audio track to see how long it is. For example, if your music ends at frame 364, you'll need to update the playback range. Go back to the Layout tab at the top, you might need to scroll to see it, and look for the end frame setting. Change the default 250 to match the length of your music, like 364 in this case. Once that's done, head back to the video editing workspace and start adding markers. You can press M on your keyboard to add a marker wherever you want to make a transition. Feel free to copy my markers or create your own based on the beat. Once you're done, go back to the Layout tab, and now you're ready for the next step, keyframing. Since the video is getting too long and I'm way too lazy to do all that, I'm just going to speed it up. You can slow it down using YouTube's slow feature.
Thank you.
Now that we've finished keyframing, let's add some animation to the car wheels. This part is totally optional, so feel free to skip it if you want. First, select one of the wheels. It's usually easy to spot, but keep in mind that your wheel setup might look different than mine, especially if your model doesn't have an empty object like this one does. Once you've selected the wheel, insert a keyframe at the start. Then go to the last frame of your timeline and press R, followed by X to rotate it along the X-axis. Your wheel might rotate on a different axis, so try different directions until you see the wheel spin correctly. You'll know it's right when you see a clear line spinning in the center. After you press R and the axis, type in 360 to make it spin one full rotation. If you play the animation back, the wheel should now rotate smoothly. Do the same process for the other wheels, and if any of them are spinning the wrong direction, just use -360 instead. Now in this part, I'm just going to cut it off since it took me an hour to do this, so I might post a tutorial on how I did it. The effect is called cell fracture. It basically just splits the object how many you want, good for explosions and stuff. Now that all the animation clips are done, you can choose whether to separate them into different renders or keep everything together. It's totally up to you. To get started on exporting, go back to the output settings and click the folder icon to set your export location. Inside the folder we created earlier, make a new folder and name it something like 1, then choose that directory. This is also where you decide if you want to export as images or as a video. For images, you can choose PNG, JPEG, or EXR. If you want to render it as a video, select FFmpeg instead. For example, if I want to export mine as a video, I'll choose FFmpeg and then scroll down to the encoding section. Under Container, you can pick your format. I recommend using MKV or MP4 for most purposes, but in this case, I'm exporting mine as PNG images, so I'll stick with that. Now I'm going to look for the color management or color correction settings. It's optional, but I like to use Filmic because it gives a more neutral cinematic tone. The colors might look a bit flat, but that's better for post-processing later. Finally, double-check your render settings to make sure everything's correct so you don't have to do it all over again. Once you're happy, go to the render menu at the top and click Render Animation, or just Render Image if you want a still shot. After you've finished rendering the first clip, it's time to move on to the next. Go to the second marker and set that as your new starting frame, then change the end frame to the third marker. Just remember to go back one frame on the end so it doesn't accidentally include the beginning of the next clip. Now head over to the output settings again and click the folder icon. This time go back to the main folder, not the one folder, and create a new folder called 2. Set that as your new output directory. From here, you'll just repeat the same process, adjust the frame range, create a new folder like 3, 4, and so on, until you have around 7 separate clips, and that wraps up this video. In the next one, I'll show you how to turn your image sequence into a video, how to add some simple color correction, and how to join all your clips together using a video editor. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out and lets me keep making tutorials like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.